Hi, my name's Andrew Brown. I'm the distilling manager at Bunnahabhain. I started off working here back in 1988, the 5th of December. I actually came in the July that year to unload a malt boat for 2 days, get invited back 6 weeks later to do it again. And then I came back to work full time in the warehouses. And for my sins over the years, I've gone up the tree and ended up managing this rather rustic, beautiful distillery on the north coast of Islay, where I'm actually quite proud to be. Bunnahabhain Distillery stands out in Islay compared to the other distilleries. The rest of the distilleries, they're all known for being this big, bold, peated style of whisky. Bunnahabhain went down another route. It went from being a typical Islay peated whisky to being an unpeated style. So the previous owners changed the style of Bunnahabhain from that peated style to unpeated back in 1963. They took out the kilns, stopped using the malt floors, changed the mash tun, changed the stills, changed the washbacks, and developed this style. And it was all to do with one blend that was getting sold. Because blending was the thing back in the 1960s. You know, single malts weren't really something that was traded in. And that's what kind of developed the unpeated style of Bunnahabhain. And then when Bunnahabhain started to be sold as, I started here back in 1988. Long time ago now, over 35 years ago, you could buy Bunnahabhain any age you wanted, as long as it was 12-year-old. And it was developed to have a sherry note to it, and it was, a 12 or 18 or 25 or standard core range. It's all this sherry, heavily sherry to various degrees, depending on which age you're looking at, unpeated style of whiskey. And that's what makes it stand out. It's got a bit of a cult following. There are folk out there that just love Bunnahabhain. They come to Islay. Everyone thinks, oh, you can only get peated whiskey in Islay. Well, no, you can't. We can, and we do make a very good unpeated style of whiskey, and that's what sets us apart from just about every other distillery in Islay. Developing a festival bottle. It's not something, we're going to go into the warehouse. There's actually a long-term plan. At the distillery, we're laying down the stock. It's a team effort. We've got the blender involved. The blender's saying, this is what we've got. This is the type of cask we're buying. Is this going to give us the flavours we want for Bunnahabhain? Is this going to be something unusual, new, different? Is this something we've done in the past that people really, really like? So there's wee elements of everything comes in and develops. We thought it was going to be one cask, and it turned out it's going to be something else. It's going to be one bottle, and it turned out to be something else. So it's all, cast a living thing, and sometimes it just isn't ready when we want it to be ready. So it develops on from that. So, it's always working. There's always something going on in the background. Its locations, it influences the whiskey. Bunnahabhain, we're the only distillery in Ireland that uses spring water for its production. So all the production water that we use, which can be up to 300,000 litres a day, comes from one spring, which is piped to a tank, from the tank to the distillery. I'm fortunate enough I get to drink that water every day. But I think the seawater is as much influential to Bunnahabhain as this water we use for production. And that's because if you look at Islay on a map, look at all the distilleries that are more than 20 years old, they're all dotted around the coast. They're all in secluded bays where there's safe mooring and there's safe harbor, because everyone came in by sea, everyone went out by sea. There's small puffers. So Bunnahabhain is located in, it's almost a horseshoe bay. And we're also located at the bottom of a cliff. So unless we get a northerly wind, we're sheltered. The wind comes over the top of us, it blows round us, it does this. So the piers sit there, so the boats that come in, we're very safe. Now, that's not to say that the story that I've read and heard of back in 1879 when they brought a boiler in. They didn't have a pier, they didn't have a wall, they put the boiler on the shore. There was a northerly gale and the boiler ended up on the coast of Jura. Now, that's what, I've heard that story a few times. I don't actually know if it's true, but I can see it and developing. But where we are, we're in the north. As I say, Bunnahabhain It's a destination. It's not something you drive by and stop. You drive up the single track road, we're at the end of it. There's nowhere else. Unless you park the car and want to walk to a lighthouse, there is nowhere else. We are just here. 2 warehouses that are located within probably 10 metres of the sea. So that sea influence and that sea spray and the salt spray, it penetrates warehouses, it gets into the cask, it influences the flavour. You know, we have that, I don't want to say salt because it's not salt, but you do get that maritime influence on the spirit and on the casks. Sometimes it's a very great thing. It imparts something into the whiskey. Bunnahabhain, where it is, where we sit, beautiful spot. No better place to drink Bunnahabhain than the end of the pier on a nice night with a glass as the sun goes down.